Welcome back to Extra Time Futbol, and what a last day that we've had of round three of the last few games. Between yesterday and today, between the teams getting eliminated, the ones making it through, the ones already qualified, what an end to it all. We started off with Norway and France there. Norway, we knew that they were going to take this game seriously by the comments Holland made in the week. They rest the majority of their starters. I believe it was 10 out of the 11 players on the field were complete bench players. France took advantage of it, as they should, though. They still played with a really strong team. Mbappe was unlucky to not score that shot in the first couple seconds of the game. He hit the crossbar. Would have been a great way to tally up his goals towards the Golden Boot race, but unfortunate for him. Not unfortunate for Dembele, who was able to bag a hat trick today, and each goal, was a stunning goal. You could definitely tell he was confident today. That confidence was on his side, and he's he's the Ballon d'Or winner for a reason. This man is incredible. He's a complete talent. The most two-footed player you'll see right now in the game. Is just as able to strike it with his left as he is with his right without skipping a beat. Desiree Doué, amazing player. He was killing it for PSG last season. He was killing it for this past one too, and the one before that. He played crucial parts in getting PSG to back-to-back Champions League wins. So Desiree Doué, great player, great winger, and great player for France to have for the future as well. Now, from Norway's side, they did score a goal while it was still 2-1, and they did go down 3-1 at one point, and they had a penalty to be able to put themselves back into the game with the 3-2 scoreline. And if you get that 3-2, maybe you can even think about putting in some subs and potentially equalizing. But no, they failed to capitalize from the spot, missing their penalty, poorly executed penalty, but great save from the French keeper to keep the scoreline at 4-1. On the other side, we had Senegal and Iraq. Senegal completely demolished them. They showed no mercy today, and they showed why they are the champions of Africa right now. Again, on technicalities, I know it's not, but by what everybody saw, we know that Senegal is the actual champion of Africa. They won the recent AFCON. They demonstrated why they are such a powerhouse to be dealt with on that region. They are going to be a strong side, and they're going to give any team that they had to face in the knockout stages a fight, run for their money. Even if they make it past the first round, they're going to be a tough opposition. And I can see them possibly even making a run to the quarters. I know that once we get into the quarterfinals, it's going to start to get tougher and tougher from there. But I can definitely see them that run. Who knows? Maybe they could even squeeze in a semifinal run. They can pull the impossible. And no need to cap off Group H, as I already made a video about that last night. If you want to hear my thoughts on the disappointment from Uruguay and the lackluster Spain. Sorry, I have a video on that if you want to check it out. And I also mentioned Cape Verde and the Saudi Arabia game in there. The last two to finish the night, we had Belgium versus New Zealand, where the Belgians just demolished New Zealand. They were lacking goals. They hadn't scored a single goal yet from a Belgian player, because their one goal still was from an own goal from the Egyptian defender. But they finally broke the deadlock last night, scoring 5. Lukaku finally gets on the score sheet. De Bruyne also gets on it. Trossard gets a brace. They woke up. I don't think this is going to be enough to get them to make a deep run or anything, but Belgium definitely showing that they have somewhat of fight to them. They've still been underwhelming in my eyes. They've still been disappointing. But who knows? Maybe this is the type of win that builds momentum, that gets you going, and they could strive for a deep run. I don't see it happening, but you never know with this game. Last night, Egypt and Iran. Unfortunate for Iran to not be able to win that game last night. Still strong with the draw, and I believe as of right now they are still making it as one of the better third place teams. I think they are still going to qualify, so I'm happy for Iran, especially after all the difficulties that they've had throughout this World Cup, not being able to stay in the U.S. but having to play games here, having to travel in and out same day of. Massive respect for them. They were a tough opponent. They showed resilience. They showed strength. They were a great opponent to play against anybody. They did go down early on in the game last night, 1-0 to Egypt. Saber went up 1-0. They did miss a penalty in the 11th minute. Unfortunate for them, but just a few minutes later, they were able to equalize. That equalizing moment kept them in the game and kept them in the tournament as of right now. I know that was a controversial moment at the end where they scored the winning goal, and it looks like they were sending Egypt to third place in the shocking turn of events of the last game. But what a way for that to get overturned. Whether you think it was offside or not, that will be up for debate. The rule can be a little iffy right there. I know that behind the keeper has to be two defenders, and from what he was ahead of the first defender. So technically, there was only one that he was on par with. But overall, great performance from them. From rooting for the Egyptian side of it, I'm happy they didn't lose that game. I do want to see them make a deep run in this tournament. They are one of the nations that I am supporting, so I hope that they make a deep run. Gutted still for Iran. Would have loved to see them get a win in the group stages. Hopefully they get a win in the knockouts. Maybe just win their first one if they can, just to at least get a World Cup win this tournament. But Egypt, glad to see that they didn't lose, and glad to see that they kept at least a second place and are on to the knockouts and are going to be putting up a fight going forward. Moving over to today, we start with Group L, England versus Panama. 2-0 win. Not much to really see there. England secured that first place spot. Harry Kane becomes the all-time England goal scorer in World Cups with 11, I believe. And he, adds another goal to his tally for the Golden Boot. He's at 3. I know that's 2 behind Messi and still in first place, but Harry Kane could definitely spur for another 3-4 goals this tournament and could definitely put a shout for the title of it. Jude Bellingham also gets on the score sheet, put a goal and an assist, so what a way for him to get involved today. Sad for our CONCACAF boys in Panama to see them bow out of the tournament this way. Sad for them not to see them score at least a goal this tournament. They did go blank 3 times. At least they didn't get pummeled like the 2018 showing, but sad to see them not score a goal. Would have loved to see that for them. Would have loved to see them at least get a point. Was harsh on them to lose that first game against Ghana in the dying last minutes of the game. Very unfortunate for them. Same for Ghana, unfortunate for them losing to Croatia today. They had that second spot secured. All they really had to do was play for the draw, something they've been doing kind of really well. They did it really well against England. They were doing it really well against Panama too. They were fortunate to get that winning goal at the end. Unfortunate to not be able to get it done against Croatia. Loses that second place spot in the group. Drops down to third. Croatia goes in second. But Ghana still qualifies to the next round as one of the better thirds. So happy to see them going on to there. Now we move over to Group K. South Korea, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the DR Congo couldn't lose or couldn't draw. Uzbekistan was winning this game for a good majority of it. Around the 68th minute, DR Congo, they equalized, and then within the 10-minute span, they're already 2-1 up. Gutted for South Korea. With their result, their win, I know it knocks them out officially. All they needed to do was not win today. They weren't able to do that for them. DR Congo, I wish you the best of luck going forward, as you're going to be one of the better third place teams that qualifies. South Korea, I'm gutted for you guys. I really wish you guys would have made it through the next round. That last game against South Africa, I really don't know what happened, but I hope to see you guys stronger in the next one. I will be rooting for you guys. I'm hoping you guys bounce back from this one. DR Congo, though, massive respect for you guys. You guys were down through the majority of the game. You showed perseverance. You equalized, and you were able to turn this result on its back. You got the win. You showed a strong defensive game against Portugal. You had a strong game against Colombia. Unfortunate to concede late in the game and lose that one. But happy at least for you guys to get this win. Uzbekistan, first time showing out in the World Cup. Hopefully it showed you guys what can be done for the next time come around. That you can have a stronger showing in the next one and possibly get a point or two. Unfortunate for you guys to end it in 0 and losing all 3 games. But hoping we can see you guys back again in the next one and come back with a stronger side. Now, Colombia versus Portugal. Colombia finishes with first place with 7 points. This game was a 0-0, but let me tell you, the scoreline is deceiving. This game it was back and forth. It had excitement throughout the whole game. If you watch this game, the only thing that I'm sorry about was that we didn't get a goal. This game was great. As a football enjoyer, this is one of those games that you really enjoy. This is one of those that, it sucks that we didn't get goals or we didn't get wins. Very, very crucial call on that last one by Davinson Sanchez, that header. He was just marginally offside. Gutted for them. Would have loved to see them take the win. Although it was back and forth, Colombia still deserved the win overall, in my opinion. But as I was mentioning, this is one of those games that you truly, truly appreciate. If it's going to be a draw, you want to see this type of game as a draw. Cristiano Ronaldo had his shots. Nothing was going in for them. Bruno Fernandes had the best opportunity for Portugal. Camilo Vargas with a great save right there to keep them in the game. Colombia just, I feel like they could have had it. They just weren't clinical today. But if this game demonstrated anything to me, Colombia is not to be messed with. They are serious in this tournament. And watch out, that we could be seeing another 2014 run this time. I know James isn't the same James that he was back then, but there's something special in this team. I don't know what it is. I just feel something special. I feel like there's going to be some magical moments with them. So Unfortunate for them not to get the win. Still happy for them that they qualified and they finished in first place, and they are passing in first place. Happy for Portugal too, going in second. We'd love to see, legends like Cristiano Ronaldo still be able to leave more of a legacy in the World Cup. Hopefully he can bag a few more goals before Portugal either bows out, or maybe they even make a deep run. If you're into conspiracies, and Portugal is destined to win it, but regardless of what happens, I would love to see him get a few more goals in this tournament, and like to see them doing well. This is, I want to say it's his last one, but with these guys, him, Messi, these type of players, you never know. You never know if it's really going to be the last dance or not. There's two more games left. There's Algeria versus Austria, and Jordan versus Argentina that are currently playing right now. To be honest, there's not really much to go in those games. Argentina already sealed first place. Algeria and Austria, whoever wins, I believe, has to play Spain. So it's more so either of them would really want to win in this case. I see a draw in that game. If anything interesting happens in either of those games, I will make a separate video on it. But if you did enjoy this one, I would have really appreciated if you can like and subscribe, as it does mean a lot to the channel. Hopefully I get to catch you again soon on the next one. We start tomorrow with the knockout stages.